Hello, hello,
Hey
hello.
everybody, what's going on? Come on in.
Come on in. Give it a few minutes for the good people to show up, show their faces, show themselves, not the faces,
Right. Right.
show their names
On the Book of Faces.
on the book of faces.
Right, right.
Y'all come on in. As you come in, tell us where you're checking in from. Say hello and tell us where you're checking in from. Shout out to our Memphis people, Chicago people, Columbus
Columbus
people,
people.
people.
You said your people.
Tell us where you're checking in from. Tell us hello. When you walk into a room,
It's just right
it's just right to
to
say
say
hello.
hello. So when you come in, let us know what's going on. Let us know where you're from so we can get excited about you. Come on in the room. Come on.
Hey, Chandra. How are
Hey.
you? We see you there. Say hello. Say hello as you're coming in. We'll give it another couple minutes, but welcome. Welcome to Journey with the Gibsons.
I'm Dr. Gino Gibson.
I am Shakitha Gibson. And we are here, of course, every Tuesday. Is it
Tuesday,
Tuesday?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm so tired. So, we are here every Tuesday, talking all things relationship, all things love, all things good, bad, the ugly. We invite you to make sure you keep up with us on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, so that you can keep up with when we go live and know when we are doing another edition of Journey with the Gibsons. You can also find us on YouTube and Instagram. Don't
I
miss
see
it.
Joe Stanley, Columbus, Ohio. Lorraine, all the way from Las Vegas. What's going on?
Make sure you are following us and subscribing so you don't miss a beat. We are in our Fall in Love
Right,
series.
right, right.
It was a 4-part series. The first week we talked about falling in love with
Self.
yourself.
Fall in love with self.
Fall in love with yourself. And the second week
We
we
talked about falling in love with your spouse or significant other.
we did, and then the third week we talked about falling in love with sex. And so
Sex.
we talked about that dirty word that no one wants to talk about in
Not
marriage and
dirty.
relationship. And we said it's not dirty.
Not dirty.
Hey girl. We talked about that. It's not dirty, and it's okay when you're in a covenant and you're in relationship with someone to explore, child.
Right, do
Get
it.
it in, child.
Bring it.
Be
That's
creative.
what
That's
I
what we
said
meant.
last week.
And then
Don't be playing with
today,
it. Don't play with it.
today, in our last installment of Falling in Love series, we're going to talk about falling in love with wealth.
Falling in
Falling in
love
love
with
with
wealth.
wealth, something that we don't talk about enough, I think, in our community
Can
and
you did
in
you share?
our families. I didn't share. Yo, listen, share. I'm going to share
Right.
too. I'm going to share. Hold on.
I'm trying to share, but
Give
it
me
keeps
just a second.
showing up as journey.
I'm about to do it right now. Everybody do it with me. Take a moment. Hit the share button. And we're
How do
live.
you share as you?
My babe don't know how to share.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that's Journey. I'm sorry.
Oh, here, I got it. I got it now. I
So
don't know
yeah,
how I got
there you
it.
go. All right, so we sharing. Hit the share button. Hit the share button. Y'all make sure y'all are interactive with us. Give us hearts. Give us hearts. We see your hearts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So tonight we're gonna talk about falling in love with wealth. Falling in love
Right,
with wealth,
right.
and we got 5 things.
5 things,
We're
probably.
sticking to the 5 things we want to leave you with. We won't be before you long, but
Right.
this is a very important subject. So take notes if you need to.
All right, go ahead. You start. You want
Nope.
me to start?
Yeah.
So let's start out with what is wealth. What is wealth? Some people think that wealth is having money or being rich, and wealth has to do with finances, but it's so much more. It has to do with one generation setting up the next generation with anything of value to make it easier on them. That could be educationally, that could be health, that could be land ownership, that could be earning potential, political opportunities, all of those things. And much of this it has to do with the accumulation of finances and my wife, my beautiful wife, I might add, says
You
it has
better
to
know what to
do
say.
with responsibility of the finances and responsibility that you have to the next generation.
And I said that to say, you know, we talked about accumulation of
Right,
finances, and that's getting
right,
money.
right.
But it, you know, if you're not responsible with the money that you're getting, I guarantee you won't create wealth.
Right.
You won't fall in love with wealth. You won't create it for yourself or your family.
If
So
your outgo is the same as your income or more than your income,
exactly,
it creates
you're
debt.
doomed.
Right. And due to the heinous and peculiar institution of slavery, there's been a wealth disparity in this country since its inception. And one demographic has had information and access to information and wealth, and has learned property and access to building wealth, while the other demographic was property. And as a
That was
result,
us.
yeah, that was us. And the system disallowed us to learn about wealth, making it hard, almost impossible to pass down wealth or anything of value. People that look like you and I almost have to start over every generation, and it makes it hard to develop wealth. So we came to debunk some things. Right? You want me to
Yeah,
still
keep
go?
going.
Okay, yeah.
Keep rolling. You rolling.
One of the things that as Africans on American soil, because we believe many of us go to church and stuff, we thought
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a problem in order to accumulate wealth. Part of that is because we were told we could not, so we put it in the Bible, and it says the love of money is the root of all evil.
And let me just say, if y'all are saying that quote wrong, please stop.
Right?
Please stop. I hear so many people say money is the root of all evil.
not.
That is not what the quote or the scripture says. Please touch your neighbor when they say that wrong.
Go
I'm
ahead,
sorry.
Evangelist.
I know, right? Touch your neighbor. Tell
It
them they
is-
are getting that wrong. Okay, go
It
ahead.
is the
Sorry.
love of money. Now, we're not trying
But
to
we're
make this
telling people to fall in love.
right.
with wealth.
It's the love of money. Now, we're not trying to make this. This is inspirational, not necessarily religious.
Right.
But if you're going to quote the text, you have to do it in the whole situation. What is being talked about there is when you are doing those things for ill-gotten gain,
Right.
and when you are doing things illegally, or not worried about how you hurt people in order to accumulate wealth or riches. So that becomes the love of it, to the point it becomes its own idol and things like that. That is the root. That is the root of all evil. Not love, not responsible earning, not putting your money up, not retiring wealthy. That's not. No. That's not evil. That is encouraged to be good stewards.
Right, exactly. I think it's like everything else, right?
Right.
I mean, like everything else, it's okay to love responsibly. And so it's exactly what you're talking about.
Right.
Loving money or loving wealth with the desire to take care of your family
Right.
is not evil.
not
It's
evil at
not
all.
evil. It's again responsible. And
And
that's what
you-
we want to talk about tonight.
And you make responsible decisions to do so.
Right.
Even those that call sacrifice, self-sacrifice, couple sacrifice, love sacrifice, in order to make those things happen.
All right. Is it my turn?
You go ahead.
Oh, so love. So marriage, we've talked about this many times. If you decide to get married to someone on this lovely earth, especially in the second time around like we did, because we are divorcees that found each other, y'all know the story. It is a business deal.
Right.
It's a business deal. If you take God and sex out of the equation, and those two things are very important, we've talked about them. If you take those out, it is what's left. You're sharing your life together, sharing your wealth together, building together.
And-
Go.
I believe, and this is where we differ a little bit, I believe love itself is a business deal. In
Love?
that it's a negotiation of emotions, resources, even going out on dates.
I
It
can love
is-
without action, though.
Yeah, but I'm talking about in relationship. If you're seeking, if you're securing, if you're sustaining, if you're starting over, it's a business deal. There's some
These braids.
negotiation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I like it when you throw your hair.
It's just
whip
getting on
your
my
hair
nerve. I'm
back
sorry,
and
go
forth.
ahead.
Whip your hair back and forth.
I digress.
It is a business deal. You are negotiating how much time you're going to spend.
Yeah.
You're negotiating how much resources you're going to give. Christmas is coming up. You're renegotiating what
How
you're going
big
to
my
spend.
gift's gonna be.
Right. Right. So all of that is negotiation. Go ahead, baby. All that's business, but go ahead.
No, great. So it's designed, of course, to deal with economic security. I mean, when you're in the relationship, again, take God and sex out. It's about what you have together, right? I mean, you get married, you're supposed to share everything you have, and we've talked on a couple lives about, do you share bank accounts and do all that kind of stuff. We do. So we are truly sharing all of our economic resources.
Business partners.
We're business partners. If he goes down, I go down too, and we got to help each other build this thing back up.
Right.
So sex is the enjoyment for the toil of building substance. So
Right.
we talked about falling in love with sex last week. It's one of the rewards for putting all this stuff together, right? When you're
procreation
building,
and recreation.
absolutely. When you're building something together, you're building your marriage, building your house, building your family. The procreation comes in that. That's how you build your family, right? That's the only way to have kids, unless you, of course, adopt.
Right.
So all of this, hopefully you're seeing that all of this stuff that we're talking about ties together. Men find security in sex. Women find it in money. And money. So I have a question though.
Right, good question.
Why do you think men don't find it in money? Or is that why men take so long to get married? Because they say, well, I'm not ready yet. And I gotta provide. And all that.
Here's the thing. It's going to mess you up. The thing about it is
Lord.
men's ultimate goal is not money. Men use money as a tool.
Okay.
Men use money as a tool to conquer and have what they want.
Okay.
Right? And most of the things that men want is what? Women.
Yes.
Right?
At
So
the end of the day.
we will use the finances as a tool to get what we want.
To rope in.
Right. So security for us is the conquering. I'm somebody if I can conquer, right? For women, it's different. Women want to make sure they like to when that heat go on. When the heat go on,
when I flick the switch and the lights come on, come on, get you some. Because the lights are on, the bills are paid.
Bills are paid.
Come
There's
on, King Jesus.
Security in there. You done called on it, right?
I done called on them. Hey, Tiffany, Mel, all y'all, we see you on. We're just rolling through.
So
leave your comments. Leave your comments and your hearts below.
So as a result, men ask a question: can you pleasure me?
Ultimately, that's what the man is seeking.
And a woman is asking the question: can you provide?
You provide for me?
Right. So that is the dance that happens. This dance is the oldest profession in the world. It's the same dance.
Gotcha.
Right. So yeah.
So men, I guess, so to speak, they know to work, like instinctually. Men are thinking they're going to get the money anyway. That's their job. And the woman, you think, are saying...
Well, there's a new breed out here.
It's a whole new breed.
It's a new breed out here.
That don't want to work. But I'm talking about in general.
Right, but most of all, it's I need to go toil. And of course, women out here toiling too. And the women are going to school, all-time rate, all of that stuff. And they're making more now.
What women are doing now, because women are marrying later, we're building wealth for ourselves.
Right.
And we're not waiting, because if we don't get married until 40, you cannot wait until you're in your 40s to start thinking about wealth and generational, financial stability.
And we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a few.
Absolutely. So women will give pleasure for security. Men will give security for pleasure. Right. So that's exactly what we were just talking about. The bartering that men and women.
It's unsaid. It starts off even if you go to the club. It starts right there. Who buys the drinks?
The dude.
See, look. Wait a minute.
The dude.
Right.
But I mean, unless of course I'm by myself or with my girls, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean that's part of the whole dance.
The barter. Yeah. That is too funny. So building wealth becomes a trusting journey of building security and pleasure based on the priority of what you find value in. Right. So we're talking about, again, building wealth and security within your family. And that barter of pleasure versus wealth, pleasure versus providing is the dance that men and women do. And I'm sorry. And we're asking, we are petitioning people tonight to fall in love with that thought process, because at the end of the day, we are wanting to create something better for ourselves and for our children. And that starts with family, that starts with relationship, and that starts with being able to provide.
And it's all about trust, right? I'm very protective of my money. Women, as a man, women are very protective of their pleasure. So what happens is sometimes I want to give less for more and they want to give less for more.
Right.
Then it becomes dishonest, right? You have to figure out where it's honest and you decide by choice to build together to do that. I need y'all to hit some hearts and all of those things and let us know that let us know what you're thinking.
So question. So a hint. One thing to think about when you think about what's important to you, or what's valuable to you. We're talking about wealth, and again, most people consider wealth money.
Right.
That's where it's going to start. But we talked about how wealth is educational. Wealth could be profit sharing.
Right.
Wealth could be a number of different things.
Right.
Wealth is a healthy family around you. Wealth is a healthy body. All
Right.
of those things, right? But if you look at your calendar and if you look at your bank statement, you will find what's valuable to you.
Right.
You will find out that where
That's
you
very good,
spend
babe.
your time and where you spend your money is what's valuable to you.
Right.
So take a look. Take a look. Everybody pledged to do that exercise this week. Just take a look at your calendar for the month of October, this previous month. What did
Right.
you do? Where did you go? Where did you spend your time? Did you spend it with family? You know, did you spend it with taking care of your body, doctor's
Right.
appointments?
Right.
Were you on that type of thing? Keeping up with those types of things? Where did you spend your money? Is it fast food all day? Is
It's
it
important.
eating out every
It's
day?
important.
Can your husband get a meal? Y'all, I cooked. My husband came home last night. I was cooking at 4:00. Don't play.
And it was good. And it was good. Yeah, we gotta speed up.
Okay,
We gotta speed up.
second. This is the third one, I think. If you fail to plan,
You plan,
you
to
plan
fail.
to fail. You take it.
Okay, it's been said that you are to live like nobody else so you can live like nobody else. That simply means that sometimes that you have to plan to save in the beginning. You have to budget for today and tomorrow.
Give us some hearts right now. Everybody hit the hearts if you have a savings account.
Right.
Hit the hearts. Hit the
Right.
hearts. Or say yes in the
Or
chat.
401k or something.
If you have a retirement
Right,
account, a
right.
savings account, if you have something today, say hit the hearts or hit yes. If you don't, say no, and
Right,
we can
right.
talk about that as well.
Right. You need life insurance in case you die, and you need retirement in case you live.
Say that again.
You need insurance in case you die, but you need retirement in case you live. Redonna Guy, Louisville, Kentucky, what's going on?
Tell somebody that. Put that in the chat.
This
Put
is
that in the chat.
important because somebody said, okay, I'm going to be straight. I have insurance. Wait, you get it when you pass.
You won't get it.
And if you are doing whole life insurance, normally whole life costs too much. You might be able to do term and invest the difference. You need somebody to talk to about financial planning. Also, time can work against you. If most of us are out of the work game at 65 or so, you need to start early so that by the time you get there, you will have a nest egg of some money that is working for you. 50 Cent said the other day, he said he was broke when he was on the road because he had to work for it. Now that he owns the show, he making money while he sleep.
Yeah.
We need to figure out how to do that. And it's ways to do out here. But if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
And let's be clear, all of us won't be 50 Cent. Maybe none of us will be 50 Cent or have 50 Cent money
Right.
is where I'm going.
Right.
We have to be responsible with the money that we have. So
Right.
if you make 40,000 or if you make 400,000, how are you spending it?
Right.
I don't care if you can only put $20 into the savings account a month. It's more than zero, right? And if you do that long enough, then you are showing responsibility to your family and to yourself, and the money will add up. Numbers don't lie. I promise. If you keep adding the plus button, it'll keep going up.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Listen, again, this is not religious. We just do inspirational. But as a pastor, I have to add this. GoFundMe as your insurance tool is not God's will for your life.
Yeah, and that ain't pastor, and that's just
you do
normal.
not want to pass and your people have to do a GoFundMe and you had Gucci shoes and you had all kinds of Jordans and you had red bottoms and you
Right.
had all that. You had a motorcycle but no insurance. Come on, man. That's not what we're supposed to do. When we're talking about falling in love with wealth, we're talking about taking $40 a month if you're in your 30s and getting $700,000 worth of term life insurance, which you probably can do depending on your lifestyle. If you don't smoke a lot, if you don't do all of the other things, if you're in decent health, you can get 20 years of good life insurance for little or nothing. We got to do better.
Yeah, and this isn't a popular topic, right? It's not a popular topic. We're talking about falling in love with wealth, generational financial stability, and taking care of our families. When we was talking about sex, it was boom.
Everybody was on
last week,
everybody
right?
talking about sex. But let me tell you,
this is important.
Sex is better when security is involved.
Listen, when the bills are paid.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm sorry. Listen, it matters. It really matters in the grand scheme of things. We talk about loving yourself, loving your spouse, loving sex, and now loving wealth.
Right.
All of that runs together. And I promise you, you will love yourself more.
And your spouse will love you more.
And your spouse will love you more if you have financial stability. It matters. It matters. And again, we talked about sex last week. The sex is better when financial stability is in the house.
AB, what's going on? I see you,
bro.
Man. Misha.
Hey, Misha.
Listen, I'm telling you, I told her I want her to walk 2 inches off the ground while I'm living, but I want her to be conflicted at my funeral.
I don't know if I'm gonna cry. I don't do a shout.
I want her to be conflicted at my. If you hear I'm going home, realize she doing okay. Right? The period. That's the bottom line. Realize she doing all right.
Why don't we get life insurance? And guess what?
It's not just me. Because if she going in,
he's taking care of.
I'm straight. I'm straight.
And we're good today. We make sure that we take care of each other today. But y'all, somebody tell me in the chat. No, tell me in the chat. Why don't us, our people, get life insurance? What's up with the GoFundMe's? Like, what is your take on it? Somebody type in the comments just what you think the reason is,
right?
That our culture has not invested in life insurance, so to speak. I want to hear your thoughts.
I think it's a whole invincibility thing. People think that it's something.
Don't give the answers. They're supposed to say.
Oh,
they're supposed to say.
Did you just hit me on the whole?
I just popped you on the live.
Oh no!
I want to hear from them. I want to. Hey, Misha. This has been a wonderful series. Thank you. Share, tell somebody, hit the heart. So tell us, we're going to come back to that. I want to come back to your responses. The next one, you can't hit a target that you can't see. Do you have a plan? Do you have goals? Every year, and we're getting close to that time of year now, January, what we do? Vision boards, right? It's a whole trend. Right. If you go on Pinterest, Google, any of those places, you can see the whole trend of vision boards, and we make them look real pretty, and they have flowers, and they have all kind of pink and blue and red and pictures of stuff, and we want to go to the Maldives, and we want to go, we have all these dreams, but do we follow through?
Right.
Do we have a plan for those goals?
Right.
Do you even know what your goals are? So start small. Your first goal could be, for those of you who don't have a savings account yet, that's a goal.
Right.
Open a savings account. It's just that simple. Right. You could have $5 in there. Open a savings account. What's your next goal? I want to save $100 this year, or this month, or this week. Whatever that looks like, set the goal so that you are intentional about this wealth thing we're talking about.
And if you use pressure, when I say pressure, I'm talking about money. If you use pressure over time, it grows, right? So let's say you give each of your kids, you're going to buy them a lot for Christmas. You give each of your kids $2,000 a year. Right, $2,000 a year. Put it in the savings. It's put in the in an IRA or something like that. In 5 years, if that money sits 10, 15 years from now, it's almost $1 million. You just got to let it happen, right? So I was challenged on one time. Don't buy your kids Nikes. Buy them Nike stock. Mm-hmm. Right? Where's your Amazon stock? My boy AB got some Amazon stock. He's doing very well with that. He's also a manager at Amazon. Those are the things. I mean, he's doing well. It's my boy, right? So my thing is, those are the things that you look up to. Also, this is not in our notes. Surround yourself with people that are doing it.
Oh, it is? Yeah, it's coming.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You have to define your goals. Put them on, like we have stuff around here on the wall that we're trying to shoot after. Put it on the refrigerator and say, yo, this is what we're trying to do by here. This is what we're trying to do by here. These are things that make sense. And the younger you are, the better, because you're building together. Mm-hmm. So some of the answers, the reality of the answers that I'm talking about is why our people don't invest in life insurance. The reality of death isn't there, miseducation, resolutions we don't keep,
AB said we good.
quick money. Oh, I mean, I was just like, wait.
Maurice Fuller, what's up, Noop?
Hey, sir, how are you? So those are good. I think the reality of death is a good one.
Right.
We don't think we're going to die, and maybe no one does. That may not just be our people. But I think people don't invest in life insurance because they think they still have time.
Yeah, but
they think they
what
think
you
they
and
have
I
time.
do all the time, we're talking about making sure, especially since we're traveling back and forth so
Because
much.
I have, my motto.
I could die tomorrow.
I could die tomorrow. I say that all the time, and I mean it wholeheartedly. Like, no, wait, let's either let's take the trip. I'm doing it in a way of saying let's enjoy life, or in life insurance and things. I'm like, no. Yeah, we do. We stay on a plane somewhere. COVID out here. Car accidents happen. There's people breaking in houses and robbing people every day. We could die tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, you just never know.
And we're living our life. We're living our life, knowing that something could happen.
Yeah.
Right.
We're preparing not for death.
Right.
We're preparing our families to live well and be okay without us. It's very, very important.
Can I share this with you? This is amazing. I read it today.
I'm scared. Yes.
Now watch this. Of course, you guys know I'm a PhD student, so I'm reading all kinds of literature. And today I was reading something, and James Baldwin, the wonderful African American writer, said something way back in the day. He says, America doesn't believe it will die. So it's up to us to earn our death by living for ourselves and living for others.
Wow.
Which means you earn to cross the Jordan and all of those things and go to a better place if that's what you believe. Mm-hmm. But you spend your life living for yourselves and making it easy for others to live. That's how you earn death. Because guess what? This is a newsflash. It's going to happen to all of us.
Right.
You know that. So we got to make sure that we're doing what we need to be doing in order to approach that well.
So Misha and AB are hitting on two things. Misha said, I hear too many times that I don't want to leave anything for somebody else to spend, which is terrible thinking, like you said, Misha. And AB said, I think there is a level of selfishness, which is the same thing.
Right.
Same thing. Trying to spend all you can, hoard all you can, and not leave anything for anybody else. Right. And I think if you have children, or if you have a spouse, that is terribly irresponsible. Right. Right. Terribly irresponsible, and I dare say you shouldn't be married or have any kids.
Right, if that's
your thinking. But it's true though. It's true. We can shun these people, the people that do that all the time. But the reality is, it's very true. And that's how we end up at GoFundMe. So listen, those of us who get it, those of us who are taking part in this series, it is our responsibility, even if they're not listening to us every time, to share this type of information with our friends, with our family. Keep encouraging them. Hey, do you have life insurance? I talked. My parents have it. My sisters all have it. But we asked the questions. When we got married, we went through the family asking questions. What's your life insurance look like? Because we don't want to be responsible for scraping up money to bury you, even if we have to get the policy, which we did for some people.
And here's the other piece. If you have it, you are responsible for helping those around you.
Exactly.
If you have it, you're responsible for helping those around you. You can't be just balling out like Will Smith and them in the Fresh Prince, and everybody around you is messed up. That whole show talks about what I'm talking about. He was from Philly, couldn't make it. He went and lived with some people, and they gave him a better chance. And that's what, if you have and you are gifted to do something, you kind of are responsible for others. Hey, Shanita.
Hey, Nita Bug. And that's what we missed. We started this out talking about how we started behind the curve because of slavery. We didn't learn these things. So now it's our responsibility to teach the generations that are coming behind us.
And now she got me in slavery again.
I mean, you do all right though. You work. I mean, you got to put your, but the Bible say, man, don't work.
Where's that?
It's got to be in there somewhere.
It ain't in there.
Well, I say, man, don't work.
You and the Bible totally different.
Man, don't eat.
I believe the Bible.
Yeah.
Listen, my last one.
The last one.
Is it mine or yours?
Well, this is mine.
Okay, let me read the first part then.
Okay.
All right, first part.
Them 4 little words. 4. Yes. You want to read 4 words?
Listen.
Y'all see how he add?
We're talking about.
I want to read my 4 words.
I wrote down. We're talking about building wealth, right? So builders cannot be haters. Nikita, what's going on?
Hey, Nikita.
Builders cannot be haters. Take it away, baby.
No, I mean.
You saw that? Look.
Y'all listen. Please Pray for us.
Ah,
Because you're retarded. So my husband said builders cannot be haters. Ultimately, what we mean, hopefully this is what he means. When you're building and surrounded by people who build, you don't have time to hate. You're not a hater. You're sharing in the wealth. You're getting close to and taking advice from people who are successful and getting it right. Who's doing it the right way? Do you have friends? Do you have family that are building wealth for themselves and for their families, and you are hating on them because they're in a good place?
Right.
Oh, and we do that so much. We hate on each other like crazy because somebody else has saved money and can buy red bottoms and have a savings account and have profit sharing and have all those things. And then we talk bad about the person that's well off. That's not what we need to do. We need to learn from each other.
Right.
What can you glean from the person?
Right. But even more so, I was talking about when I wrote that, and I think what you did was amazing. The other piece, though, I was talking about even with each other. If we're team, you and I,
same thing.
I can't be hating on you. You get a promotion at your job. Yo, I gotta say this. When we were getting married. My wife, she does well at her job. I told you that already. But she got 2 major bonuses, right? She got 2 major bonuses in a row. 2 major bonuses in a row. And it messed me up because I had been in relationships before, and I don't think the money was not as shared and all of that stuff, right?
I didn't share money in previous relationships.
Right. So she got these bonuses. I knew the bonuses. She told me the amount of the bonuses. We about to get married, right? So I was like, okay, cool. I ain't gonna say nothing. You know, I wasn't hating, but I was like, yo, I don't know what's about to happen. I know what they are. She put $10 in this account. My babe says, yo, I'm putting this out there. My wife says this. She says, I want a good pair of shoes. I'm talking about high end. And a good purse. I'm talking about high end.
It ain't good, though. I don't think I said that.
I said, no, she didn't say that. I said that, right? And then she said, the rest is going in our account. I said, like me and you, I count the one with both our names on it. She's like, yeah, that's what we're going to do. I was so excited. I was excited because of the way that it was done. I was excited because it was shared. I was excited because I didn't have to hate. I was excited because she didn't hide. I was excited about all of those things.
And I think you don't have to hate on the person if it's shared.
Right.
You know, if it's shared resources.
And I'll be getting some too, though, and I'll be sharing.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that makes the difference, though, right? Because if I was to get these major bonuses, you know, from my job and I kept it all to myself, you may hate on that because it's mine. It's over here. It's not being shared in the relationship. So that's a part of, you know, part 2, we talked about in sharing, loving your spouse and sharing your resources together and being in partnership together. No one wants to be in a relationship with somebody you're not building wealth together. We talked about that at the very beginning. And let me itching to say something. I got you.
Child. What is
addendum
was.
It's like a little kid. You were like, what?
The addendum was, though, y'all been followers on Facebook for a couple years. The addendum was, the reason I was broke is because for her birthday I was taking her to Paris.
That ain't why you was broke. That's why you was broker.
Right.
That's why you was more broke.
So she bought her purse. She bought it in Louis Vuitton on the Champs-Élysées in Paris, right? Now watch this.
You got to get if you go to Paris, you got to buy a Louis in Paris. That's all I'm saying.
People was hitting me up. Gino, man, that's hot. That's real hot that you bought her that purse. And I was like, yo, I ain't buy that. I pay for the trip to get here. She paying for the food and the Louis, right?
But this is the thing. Listen, this is the thing about building wealth together. In our relationship, you know, when we first started dating, I had a new car when we first started dating, and literally people were saying, "Oh, look, he didn't buy her a car." Well, wait, I work, you know, but I don't trip on those types of things because guess what? We're building together, and let this man walk in this house with some keys to a car. I'm going to drive the heck out of it. And I'm going to tell everybody, my husband bought me a car. I ain't got no problem with that. Okay. Just
it's coming.
In case you wanted to know, that don't bother me.
It's coming.
But because
we trying to figure it out now. We're doing research right now.
Listen, we are building together, building wealth together. But again, I think if you don't share that information or share your finances in some way, we're not saying everybody should share bank accounts. We do, but you have to decide that in your own relationship. Right. But I think you still share in some way, shape, or form. Right. And so you have to decide what that looks like for you. But when you're sharing, that is a part of building wealth together. Nikita laughed at me, Mo broke. That's why he was Mo broke.
Right.
So y'all, tonight we talked about falling in love with wealth. And again, may not be the hottest topic, but we happen to think that it is very, very important in the midst of relationships
Right.
and dealing with building all of these things that we've talked about. Again, it was a 4-part series. We started out talking about falling in love with yourself. The second week we did falling in love with your spouse. Last week we did falling in love with sex. And then tonight we talked about falling in love with wealth.
Check out that question. I'm gonna go through this real quick. What is wealth? Wealth is when you hand over something valuable to the next generation. The love of money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is the root of all evil.
The love of money with wrong purpose,
It's
wrong
purpose.
intention,
Yeah.
with wrong intention. The next one we talked about was love and marriage. If you take God and sex out, is a business deal.
It's the exchange.
business deal.
It's the exchange of emotions, exchange of finances and resources. You have to do that right. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You have to make sure that you are saving and for retirement if you live, and life insurance if you die. Budget for today and for tomorrow.
We're coming to your question, Dana. You can't hit a target that you can't see. What are your goals? Everybody, do us a favor. Today, today, set one goal, one new goal for your financial freedom and your financial security. Today, do it today.
Right. And builders aren't haters. There's no I in team. You have to build and trust each other to build, to leave something that is of worth and value to the people to come. Take the question and we out.
So the question we're getting is, do you put all in the joint or have separate accounts as well? We have joint accounts together and we have separate accounts, individual accounts. So the accounts that we came into the marriage with, we kept those accounts. And then we opened together a checking and a savings account and some other funds together with both of our names. Now, we both have access to each other's individual account as well, but we never spend it, right? Like I'm not checking for his individual account. That's just in the event, because you could die tomorrow. Remember we said that? And we want to make sure that my name is tied to his name is tied to mine.
And we're on each other's credit cards.
But that again is about building wealth and making sure you're taking care of people in the event that something happens to you. But we decided that the bulk of our income, so our main checks that we get and bonuses, go into the joint account. And that's where we do most of our spending from. Right. Now, when we get a bonus, like if I get a bonus from work, he gets a bonus from road stuff, then we will say what we want to put in our individual accounts. Right. So for instance, if I get a bonus tomorrow, I got my eye on a purse, right?
And a coat.
I got my eye on a purse. I got my eye on a coat. I got my eye on a pair of shoes. So I already know I'm going to be like, babe, I'm going to need this $10K out the bonus to go in my account. But then the rest would go into our joint account. So it just depends. It just depends on what those numbers look like for you. But we do both because in our individual accounts, I wanted to keep an individual account because I think you were more like, let's put it all together. But I was like, I want to be able to go get my nails done or go buy some lingerie or go buy some socks on my own. You know what I mean? There's some sort of financial independence that I think is important to keep.
I don't want to be at the cigar spot having a good time with my friends and say, let me ask my wife if I can spend this, right?
Right. So, or checking for it. Not questioning, but I'm going to question. Be like, where were you, what'd you spend this $2 on? Right. Who wants to answer to that?
Right. So, but the other piece is, if those checks come, those big checks come, I'm teaching all over the place. So if I get that check, then I'm saying, okay, what does the house need?
Right.
It's to the point now, I'll just send it home and she'll say, well, what do you need?
Right.
Right. And I'll say, shoot me $200. She said $10K. Shoot me $200, $400 over. She need $10K. Y'all heard that? That's
I mean, I work hard.
You said you ain't embarrassed.
I work very hard.
No, I'm gonna swipe the big account for my $10K. That's what I'm gonna do. I ain't gonna need that in my little side account, child.
We make it work for you individually. We have another live where we talked about that. Make it work. Talk to your significant other and figure out what works for you. Not everyone shares joint accounts. For me, it's a part of partnership and a part of trust to share our bank accounts and have access like that.
And again, we go back to the beginning. Women find security and find find security in finances and all of those things, right? Men find it most of the time in physical touch. So
That's
men,
right, Dana girl.
so men will get finances for physical touch. So watch the strategy. If she don't have to guess where my money's going, there's no problem with physical touch. Right? So my thing is to make sure she feels secure and that she doesn't have a problem making me feel secure. So that's super important to me.
It all flows together.
Flows, child.
Loving yourself, loving your spouse, loving sex, and loving financial stability or
and
wealth.
wealth,
It
yeah.
all flows together. And again, we're here. We talk about all things relationships, the good, the bad, the ugly.
It's our journey.
We are not relationship experts. We are just telling y'all what works for us, what we've tried, and what failed, and what we've tried,
Right.
and it works well.
Right.
So
Right.
this is about us sharing our journey with you, and we hope that you will continue to share your journeys with us. Do me a favor in the comments right now. Tell me one thing you're going to take away from tonight. One thing you're going to take away after what we talked about. What action are you going to take? Are you going to make sure you set your goal? We're looking for one goal.
Thanks, Lorraine, for the claps.
Thanks. We're looking for one goal for everybody to set, and we're looking for one thing you're taking away from the live tonight. We love you.
And there's nothing you can do about it. It's Tiffany Hale.
Hey, Tiffany, we got to get together, girl.
Right.
We
they
are
know
really
it works.
tripping.
They do a good job. Her and Frank do a good job.
She said it truly works, and having an open communication about these topics makes it so much easier. Listen.
Those are our friends. They do a great job.
It makes it so much easier and better when it all flows together.
Ain't nobody fighting.
I don't know how much better I can say. Everything runs by money. You said that earlier. Everything in the world runs by money. And honestly, I don't care how much you make. I don't care how much it is. If you are financially responsible with whatever it is, you will feel better about yourself, about your spouse, about sex and intimacy in your relationship, and about generational wealth and financial stability for
Thanks,
your family.
Krista.
Thank you, Krista. All right.
Listen, you already said it.
Yourselves in the drop your comments in the chat. Give us some hearts. Give us a share. Make sure you tune in next Tuesday. We'll be back right here. Make sure you subscribe and follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Tell somebody to join the journey.
Tell everybody to join the journey.
Everybody. Same thing.
Listen, we love you. There's nothing you can do about it. And as always, we speak life.
Deuces.
Peace.
Y'all, my husband's home. I'm excited. Have a good night.